Hello there, sweet friends. This is Gina. Welcome to the TheReBookery channel. Today I'm going to do a crazy journal spread, and I'm going to actually go back into my garden journal from last year. And I've got a bunch of things like pictures and stuff and stories printed out and ready to go, and I just haven't had time to put them into this journal. But today I want to document this really crazy, weird story about one of the critters that lives around my house. So I got my garden journal out. Ugh, my mouth isn't working. Got my garden journal out, and it had been probably a year since I looked at it. So I'm just taking a second to do a flip through, and I had the camera running, so I'll just go ahead and do a flip through. If you remember, this was a binder, Better Homes and Gardens binder from a long time ago that I turned into my garden journal. I will link the playlist below. There was a whole series that I did last year, like how I set this up and how I chose what to put in here. And then, of course, the summer ended and I never, finished it because once August hits, I'm back in school mode. And so my garden falls by the wayside and everything else does too. So I haven't picked this up in a year. And so it's kind of cool to look at the things I put in there last year. And I was also like, oh man, I forgot to document this, or I forgot to document that. And so there's a lot more stories that I want to tell in this journal. So hopefully I can find some time here in the next few weeks before I go back to school, and I can get some of the things documented, not only from this year, but from last year. Okay, so as I get towards the end, I try to wrap my brain around how I set this up last year. And I remember that I set it up into like sections. So there was like a section on the pond, there was a section on flowers, and then there was a section which I'm at right now, which is our guests. And so these were all the critters that come and live with us. And this is the section I'm going to work in today. So I actually am going to document about a turtle, and I forgot that I had already had a page started about turtles in here. So as I'm looking through this, I'm totally changing what I thought I was going to do for my my journaling. I thought I was just going to document this turtle that hangs out at our house, and he's got a name and everything. But then as I'm looking at these pictures from a long time ago, like I think 2012 and 2013, where I've documented a little turtle living at our house, I'm thinking, wait a second, maybe this is the same turtle. Maybe this turtle has been with us for that long. So as I do that, my brain starts spinning, and I'm like, what if I called this the Great Turtle Mystery? And so that's where this is kind of going. So I start off on the page that I already began last year, and at the top it says the turtle, and this was a page out of a nature book. So I just thought I would use some letter stickers and put the word mystery underneath it, and then I decided to put great right next to it. And I'm going to put there's a lot of journaling I'm going to do on this spread. So I'm going to put some label stickers. I think those are post office label stickers. And I'm going to put like little questions and stuff that I have, because this is a mystery. And so I'm going to write down all of the things that I'm wondering about. So the first thing I'm wondering about is, could this have been Jack all this time? So was this the same turtle from 2012, 2013? By the way, I know it's not a turtle. I know it's a tortoise. I'm just, it's just easier to call it a turtle. So I go ahead and put down a photo and some journaling, and I add a sticker, a couple of stickers. I'm going over my letters with a white, that's a Uniball Signo pen, and I really kind of just putter around in this journaling session. So it's probably not as fast-paced as my other journal spreads, because I really just don't kind of have a plan. I'm just kind of, well, I never really have a plan. But anyway, I'm just kind of puttering around and really working a lot with stickers in this journal spread. So a lot of lettering, a lot of writing, and just a lot of fumbling around and, trying to figure out where would be the best placement for things, which is kind of silly because it really doesn't matter. Just slap it down. That's really what you need to do. So I have some old stickers. These are old Price School stickers that had turtles on them. And I pulled those out the other day when I was journaling. I was doing a journal session and I saw them in my stickers. And so I pulled them out and I've been had them sitting on my desk ready to do this spread because I knew I was going to do this spread. Okay, so once I got done with that page, I flipped it over to the back and I pulled the pages out of the binder and I closed my curtain because I know that was a really harsh glare. So now I'm going to work on the new part of this journaling. So here's the story. The story is we discovered this little tortoise, turtle, whatever, in our yard. And the cool thing was because we have turtles all the time, but this one had the word, the name Jack written on the back of it in marker, and it's faded and everything. And so my husband's like, look, there's a turtle and his name's Jack. And so we just started calling him Jack. And I just thought he was going to, hang out for a day and then move on. But the thing is that Jack keeps coming back. Like, we keep seeing Jack all the time. Not every day. And if it goes a few days and I don't see Jack, I'll say something like, God, I wonder where Jack is. I'm a little worried about him. So we just had 4th of July. So this, yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder where Jack is. Haven't seen him for a while. Hope he didn't get freaked out because of all the fireworks. And sure enough, I opened the door this morning and there's Jack. So whenever I see Jack, the first thing I always say is, oh, hey there, Jack, or oh, hey, Jack. And then, I talk to him a little bit. I always try to go get lettuce and stuff from my garden to give to him, which is kind of silly because Jack is a carnivore. He does not want lettuce. Doesn't matter how much lettuce I give him. He would rather eat bugs. So last week, he was under the deck and he was devouring some lightning bugs. And I mean, he was going to town, and I have never seen turtles eat like that before. So that was a whole other side of Jack I'd never known. Anyway, so the thing about Jack is that every time I see him, he's always in these usual spots. He goes back and forth from the front yard to the backyard. And so I've started taking pictures of every time I see him in his usual little places. And that's what I want to document on this journal spread, is all the little places that I see him. And so I have a lot of things I want to say. And so I'm doing some of the journaling on like the label stickers, and then some of the journaling, and I'm just journaling right on the actual background paper. And then some of the journaling I'm going to do on the photos. And it's just because I just have so many things that I want to say about Jack. And I don't necessarily want to sit down and tell a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I struggle to try to write in that format, that once upon a time, and then in the middle, here's what happened, and then here's how it all ended up. I struggle with that. I can do it, but it's just hard for me, and it takes the fun out of journaling. And one of you guys commented about that same thing, about always having a beginning, middle, and an end in your story, or when you're journaling. And it got me thinking, and I was like, yeah, that when I scrapbooked, that was a lot of what prevented me from scrapbooking, is because I felt like everything needed to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when I went over into journaling, I kind of gave up that notion that you had to have a specific format. And I think that's why journaling is so much easier for me than scrapbooking, is because it doesn't have to be so methodical. It just comes out, and you just put things wherever you want, and you just say whatever you want. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, is I'm just saying everything I've got to say about Jack, our little visitor that we have. So the pictures that I'm using, these are, again, that little pack of photos, photo paper that I got. It's an HP little package. I got it at a closeout store, and they are self-adhesive, so they're like stickers. And I just print them on my regular printer here at home, and, not the best quality, and that's okay, because, it's just Jack. I'm just documenting these interactions that we have with this turtle. So on this side right here, I'm laying down a piece of wallpaper and then a piece of wrapping paper, and I'm going to put some photos down. And so the photos that I'm going to put are of all the different places that we find Jack. So, like, sometimes we'll find Jack under the stairs, which is in our backyard, like under our deck stairs. Sometimes we'll find him below the deck on the patio. Sometimes we'll find him in the front yard under the bushes. Sometimes we'll find him, last week it was raining, and I opened up the door, and sure enough, there was Jack at the door, and he was on my shoes, and he would not move. And I needed my shoes. And I didn't want to disturb him. I try not to disturb Jack. I try not to ever touch him or move him around, because I don't want him to be freaked out. I want him to stay. So anyway, so I just wanted to document those different places where we see him, and I'm just using little label stickers and writing down all the different places that we see him. I'm adding a lot of, like pen work and just phrases and sayings, and just going over things with paint pens and drawing lines and stuff, and just kind of, like I said, just kind of fiddling around as I'm working through this journal spread. And and I like how it all comes together. So this is another journal spread where, like, I'll put stickers and stuff down, and then I decide I don't want them where they are, and that's okay. So you've probably seen me, I don't know if I edited it all out, but there's a couple of times where I put down stickers, and then I decide I don't want them there, and I just pick them up and I move them to another side. And some of the stickers didn't fare very well, and so some of the decorative paper and stuff ripped off of it, and I'm okay with that, because that just kind of adds to the whole messiness of this journal spread. So now I'm using one of my dilapidated paint pens again, and having a hard time getting the paint to come out, and I decide to go over and outline these photos. Now, to make it all cohesive, because there's 3 pages, I just decide to add that lime green paint pen to each of the 3 pages, and that helps to keep, the whole thing cohesive, and it helps to keep it all as one story. Okay, so now I'm kind of just messing around, adding a little bit of detail, using my China marker to have some of those words pop out, and I'm pretty much done here. I'm pretty much at the point where I think this is exactly what I want to say. However, there is one story that I still haven't told on this spread, and I'm laughing because it's kind of a saucy little story. So last year we redid our deck, and so I had all my tomatoes and herbs on our deck, and so we had to move them off the deck, and we moved them down to the ground and put them up against the house. Anyway, we had lots of turtles that lived around our house last year. Maybe it was Jack, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. There was like 3 or 4 of them. And one day I was out watering the tomatoes, and sure enough, I see a turtle underneath, or back behind the tomatoes, in between the tomatoes and the house. And he was on his back. And I was like, oh no, I got to help that turtle. And as I went over there to help the turtle and flip him back over on his side, I realized, oh, that turtle was not alone. There was another turtle with him, and they were procreating, and I was so skeeved out. I ran in and told my husband, I'm like, oh my God, you would not even believe this. But here is the funniest thing. Not only were there the 2 turtles there was another turtle that was right next to him. So yeah, we just kind of called that the red light district behind the tomatoes, and that's where unsavory turtle acts happened. So that's kind of been, our joke this year is Jack part of the unsavory turtle posse from 2017? So that's something else I wanted to document. So I just used a little label stickers and I just wrote that, is Jack part of the unsavory turtle posse from 2017? And I don't think I spelled posse correct, and that's okay. I'm fine with it. If it's misspelled, no big deal. So now that you're probably grossed out, I will get back to the journal spread here. I'm just adding some stickers, like those little location stickers, like geocaching stickers and little arrows. And then I finally decide, after about the third time of working on that 2018, that I'm just going to use some stickers because it wasn't popping and with the paint pen, and even though I went over it with the white ink. So I just used some stickers. And then I looked at it and I was like, okay, but this story isn't done, because if this is Jack, and Jack has been with us since 2012, then maybe Jack will be with us for many more years. So I got a stamp that says "to be continued," and I just stamped it on there a couple of places, and yeah, I'm pretty good with it. I like how the whole thing looks. So I'm going to clean off my desk here and show you how it looks once it's back in the binder. So there's the front page. And then there's the stuff I did today. And then there's room for me to go ahead and put stuff, if Jack hangs out with us again and we find him next year, I can continue on with the story of Jack. So yeah, this was a fun little journal spread. I'm so glad I got this documented, and it's really pumped me up to get going in my garden journal again. I've just got so much going on. I want to get back into my This Is Me journal. I've got some serious stories I want to do and some revelations that I've come up with. So yeah, so watch for some more process videos. All right, guys, now stay tuned because you're going to get a little sneak peek of Jack here at the end. Have a great day. I hope you're healthy and I hope you're happy, and be creative. Bye. Oh, hey, Jack. How are you, buddy? Did you get a little shower? All right. Well, I'll see you this evening. Bye.